Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to our assessment of the 2011 NASCAR Media Tour. We've turned now to Penske Racing. My name is Bass Masters. This is Buzz Cutler. What did you see out of Penske?
Well, I saw some Ruby Tuesdays
besides
catering
a file
and some Miller Lite libations, which was nice. That was our first stop with alcohol provided, so that's always good to loosen things up on the media tour. Talked for a long time to Kurt Busch, although he was more interested in some ways in talking about his drag racing efforts than he was his cup efforts. But it was weird seeing him standing next to a red and yellow car, I have to admit.
The adrenaline rush in a pro stock drag racing car is unbelievable. With the launch off the line, it's 3.5 Gs. And the intensity and the focus that you have to pour into a pro stocker, it's like a 100-yard dash, whereas in a NASCAR race, it's more like a marathon.
Yeah, he definitely talked about drag racing. He's going to be at the, Gator Nationals, March 11th through 13th in the pro stock division.
Indeed, and it was a cool-looking car, I have to admit.
Brad Keselowski admitted, Cutler, that last season was a horrible nightmare. Basically, he said, thank God for the Nationwide Series, or I would have wanted to hang myself. It was very tough on the Cup side. Only ended up with a couple top tens, which he got very, very late in the year.
Really could not identify why our cars didn't perform any better than they did on the Cup side. Ironically enough, the races where my cars were the strongest were my weakest tracks. You know, Watkins Glen and Sonoma, I felt like I had top 10 cars and just had no idea what I was doing.
So I think for Brad Keselowski, this season is important. Last season could definitely be chalked up to a learning experience. He achieved great things in the Nationwide Series. What can he do on the Cup side now that he's in the Blue Deuce, the Miller Lite Dodge, a very, very prestigious ride with a lot of history to it? Brad Keselowski, I must say the pressure is on, but I think we expect a little more from him this year than a couple top tens at the end of the season.
Now, in contrast to that, you got to feel bad for Sam Hornish. He was up there on the stage sitting next to Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski, but as a 10-race nationwide driver. I mean, he just didn't get it done, admittedly so, but to his credit, he is taking a step backwards. He's not just given up on NASCAR. He's not given up on Cup. I think, obviously, his goal is to make it back to Cup at some point, but my heart went out to the guy sitting up there on that stage.
Well, you know, he's going to have to go through some adversity to come back to Cup. And it's going to be a long, hard road. And I don't know if he'll ever get there, but give him credit for being willing to persevere and not just go back to IndyCar or whatever. He wants to see if he can make it work in stock cars. And, you know, if he's willing to stick it out for a couple very tough seasons, he might get another chance. He might not, but give him credit for giving it a go.
Ironically, Helio Castroneves was also there, and I asked him if he was open to a Cup ride, and he said, well, yeah, sure.
Why not?
You got to ask Roger. You know, that's actually a good question to him. Why not have at least had an opportunity to try? I just want to drive and see how it is.
I also talked to Ralph Gillis, who is the CEO and president of Dodge. He said they are open to expanding into other teams. He wants to be loyal to his guys at Penske. They've been loyal to him. He wants to be loyal to them, but he's not going to rule out seeking other drivers and other teams to ride around in a Dodge.
Well, and this is the only Dodge team, so how Dodge does, how Penske does, it's the same thing. Kurt Busch, kind of a known quantity. If the equipment is good, he should be there, but we don't know how that equipment's going to be. It's going to be an interesting season. A lot of question marks in my mind about that race team heading into 2011. All right, that has been our discussion of Penske Racing. We'll be back in a little while to talk about another fine race team that we saw on the NASCAR Media Tour.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.